Hello everybody, it's Friday, May 10th, let's talk PlayStation. So earlier this news week, Sony's Fred Dutton, or Dutton, however you say that guy's name, you guys know I'm bad with pronunciation, but he basically posted on the PlayStation blog saying, hey, Sony's got some intriguing game announcements coming up in the coming weeks. And boy oh boy, they were not kidding. Later in the news week, they announced 3 new games. I'm going to read them offhand because I can't remember off the top of my head. Counter Spy for PS3 and Vita, Ho Ho Come for PS3, PS4, and Vita, and Doki Doki Universe for PS3, PS4, and Vita. Boom, right there, right on the same day, Sony announced 3 games, sort of like small indie titles again, sort of these small time, they're not huge retail games, but it's cool, and it's more that indie push. And even more so, Sony just added this week on the PlayStation Store, on the PS3, that there is now an indie section on the PlayStation Store to find games like these. And as I've always said, this is awesome. I love that Sony's supporting indie developers, I love that Sony's supporting all these games to come to PlayStation platforms, I love that there's all these games to play. We want games, and they're interesting titles. You look at the pictures, they're not really traditional games, and I'm all about that. Some people aren't, but I like playing some stuff that's kind of, outside of the box. What's even more interesting is that 2 of these games are available on PS3, PS4, and Vita. So, a cross-platform game for all 3 PlayStation systems. Now, I'm wondering, where does cross-buy come in, cross-save come in? Do you get buy one on all 3 platforms? Like, this is where it's really getting into Sony's ecosystem. And yes, absolutely, Sony should be encouraging all these developers that are making games for all platforms to, work with cross-play and work with cross-save, work with cross-buy. And it's something that gets you invested in the ecosystem of PlayStation. Now, if those games aren't enough, how about one big, amazing PlayStation Vita title? Shahid Kamal Ahmad, I hope I'm saying your name right, but he sent out a tweet basically saying, hey, guess what? Big, amazing PS Vita title coming up. You're going to play it for hours, and you're wondering, okay, well, who the hell's that guy? He's actually very close to Sony, and he actually helps developers get their games to PlayStation. This guy has brought over Super Crate Box to the Vita. Thomas was alone. He works with Sony. He works with indie developers. What is coming to the PS Vita? He knows, but we don't. Now, of course, what is it? We'll have to wait and see, but a big, amazing title that you could spend hours in, indie, I'm saying, like, since it's small time, because it's certainly not indie now since the game's so big, but I'm going to say Minecraft for Vita. That's just my opinion. Who knows? What do you guys think? But obviously something big's coming to Vita, and so we'll have to wait and see. But let's move away from that and get to a new news story. Gran Turismo. There's a Gran Turismo event coming up on Wednesday. Sony showed a little, press release. They got a little picture and all that. This Wednesday, Gran Turismo event. Obviously, these past few weeks, we've been talking about Gran Turismo 6. There's a rumor that it's going to be on PS3, not PS4. We're probably going to find out now. And obviously, it probably is Gran Turismo 6. I don't see what else it could be. Now, some people are thinking, they really want it on PS4 or even a PS Vita version of Gran Turismo. But considering all the rumors are saying PS3 only, I would kind of bargain that Gran Turismo 6 is going to be a PS3 only game. But let's wait and see Wednesday, and we'll talk about it on the next LTPS. So let's start talking about PS4. Sony Santa Monica, what are they doing? Obviously, the last thing they did was God of War Ascension. Some people are on there working on some DLC for PlayStation All-Stars. But of course, Sony owns this developer. They're going to be doing PS4 soon. Looks like they might be doing it soon. The company has posted a new job listing for Senior Combat Designer, and basically entails of that position, they want someone that has first-person and third-person shooting experience, and vehicle combat is a plus. Like we were talking last week about Naughty Dog and how they're bringing on all these people, they are definitely working on a PS4 project, and now Sony Santa Monica is probably gearing up for one. What's interesting is what they want from this person. Currently, right now, everything they're working on has nothing to do with vehicle combat or first-person or third-person shooting, so that's very interesting. That kind of hints that maybe the next game is a new IP. It's definitely not God of War. Who knows? Obviously, it's super soon to talk about this, but it is interesting to see what they're possibly doing and what they want out of their possible new game, so we'll have to keep our eyes peeled. I don't want to talk about this too long, because it kind of requires Infamous 2 spoilers, and I don't want to, touch that area, but Game Informer's 2013 June issue features complete coverage on Infamous Second Son, which is awesome. There's a couple of details out now, so if you do want to know, Google search it, look it up, go to IGN, go wherever, but there's definitely some interesting tidbits, and, obviously make sure you have played Infamous 2, because there are spoilers within that sort of, details that are out right now. Alright, let's talk about the PlayStation 4. There's been some news stories concerning it. We gotta talk about it, people. So this week we learned a little bit more about the PlayStation 4's share button and what it can do and its actual limitations, because it does have limitations. Apparently, developers have the ability to block certain sections of the game that cannot be recorded. Much like the PlayStation Vita right now, developers can pick what parts of the game you can't take a screenshot in, and this is the same thing here with PlayStation 4. If developers don't want you to screenshot screen capture a certain section of their game, they can block it. I mean, the way I see it, your game's going to get recorded whether you like it or not. You might as well write it off as a feature for your game rather than block it. So here's another news story where Sony was basically trying to play the good guy and win over the hearts of gamers by saying they never considered always online for the PS4. When Shuhei Yoshida was talking to Game Informer, he basically said, no, we never considered it, we never wanted to do that, and they said, you know, we understand that there's, you know, states and countries that don't have this internet and blah, blah, blah. Well, basically, Sony knows why it's bad. And they said they never even considered it. Obviously, right now we're in this situation where there's a ton of rumors about the next Xbox having Always Online, and although even if it doesn't have Always Online, which I still don't think it will, it's good that Sony's out there telling people, hey, we're not doing it. It's not going to happen. It's just sort of that communication with the consumer out there, the possible consumer. And speaking of Sony as a business, they have actually turned a profit in 2012 for the first time ever since 2008. Sony's fiscal 2012 net profit was over $400 million, and that's, yeah, there we go. They're finally in the black. They're finally earning money again. This is the company finally turning over, and Kaz Hirai came in making all these changes. I mean, the company's actually moving forward, and that's something that Sony has not done since 2008, arguably even earlier because the PS3 had a terrible launch, and their TVs were declining, and they were losing to the iPod at the time and iPhone. You know, they're finally moving forward. And lastly, two final PS4 news stories. Basically, a script got released of a possible PS4 commercial being shot, and I guess what they're saying is that the possible market slogan for the PS4 is going to be greatness awaits. Now, early on, the PS3 slogan was play beyond, and then it became it only does everything, and then it moved on to long live play. So greatness awaits. That's probably their next slogan. What do you think? And not so surprisingly, Shuhei Yoshida basically said, we want to get consumers to buy the PS4 versions of third-party games. Hey guys, so for the past few weeks I've been working on this new series for my YouTube channel, and I was telling some of the people that watch the Let's Plays about it, and now I'm ready to finally show you it, and it's ready to upload. It's called Video Game Teacher, and basically what it is I bring in some of my non-gaming friends, people that don't play games often or hardly ever, and I teach them how to, play games. I had a blast recording this. It was funny to see the reactions to modern games and new mechanics and letting them play critically acclaimed games and what they think of it. What's even more funny is when they didn't know how to do something and I tried to explain it and it wasn't working. I had a blast making them, so I hope you have a blast watching them. Each episode is about 5 to 8 minutes long, not as long as the Let's Plays. It's very cut heavy. It focuses on some of the funnier moments we had throughout our recording, and that's pretty much it. And the first episode's going to go out on Tuesday. So that's about it. I hope you guys like it, and check out a little glimpse right now. Would you do something about the people shooting you?
I don't know where they are. Oh.
Do you know what you're supposed to? Do you know what you're supposed to do?
Does it look like there's a purpose? No.
Turn around. You're going into goddamn nowhere.
Man, I'm a
Turn around.
I didn't go all the way though. This isn't cool, Ryan.
What's wrong? Balance on the beam. Oh, okay. Fell right off.
White one.
Ooh, you got a Gorgon eye.
Oh, I've always wanted one of those, actually.
Yeah.
How do I get down? Get down. Oh my god.
Well, nose diving into a building is so going. Keep going. Run past it. Turn the camera. That's perfect.
Oh, what is that?
Click L3.
What the hell is L3? I didn't know there was such thing as L3.
New episodes of Video Game Teacher will come out every Tuesday. Check it out. That concludes this week's episode of Let's Talk PlayStation. I'm Ryan Panecki. Thank you for talking with me, and I'll see you next Friday.